The other thing I wanted to say, or put out there, okay, I am recording. Okay. The other thing I wanted to put out there was like, you can usually tell, or not, well, okay, you can't 100% of the time tell if they're trans or not, right? There's physical appearance, and then there's like their voice, and then there's obviously like how is their past, and then how they come across, the things they talk about. Um, you can usually tell something's off when you meet someone who's trans, even though they may seem like they're a girl. You can usually tell something just seems off, you know. Whether it's something in like their face doesn't line up, you can tell some sort of surgery was done there. That doesn't immediately tell you that they're trans, but you can kind of tell. Some features just don't blend in, this or that. Like, there's something that you can usually tell physically, you know. And then sometimes by the voice too, and then sometimes by the past as well. And like I said, how they talk about. I mean, you talk to them just by talking to them. I feel like not even the physical thing or anything. A lot of times, just if you're just talking in a chat or anything to them, if you're chatting, messaging, texting, whatever, you can usually tell that something's kind of off. I feel like girls usually have this sort of like I don't know. I feel like girls usually have this sort of like, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but like people can be described as having different like characteristics. Like I remember my brother told me once about this one video of this very like popular and like well spoken and well respected person on YouTube that was basically like just teaching people about how to be better men or something like that. And one of the things he talked about was like uh, the different parts that you bring out. And he was saying like men have like their warrior side, they have like their poetic side, they have like their lover side, they have this side, the intelligence one, the wisdom one. And there were like 5 total sides. I don't remember the specifics, but basically the idea was that a lot of times guys bring out their lover side too much, and they don't bring out enough of the warrior, or they bring out too much of the intelligence wisdom one, where they do a lot of talking but they don't bring out enough of the warrior, which is like the actual doing and like going out of their way to do something and confront things, so the idea was like you have different sides to you, and they can be characterized by these like classes or characters or whatever, like. And so he was basically saying a lot of people don't bring out enough of the warrior side. They don't balance it. Each side needs to be brought out, and obviously there's going to be some dominant ones, but a lot of times you do need that warrior side to bring out that warrior side. So I feel like in that same way, girls also have like their different like classes, and one of them is like they have like a sort of like a royalty property to them. I don't want to say the word queen, but because like I don't want to say that, but it's like this sort of like royalty property where they think they have this side to them where they demand a lot of respect for themselves in a way, and they don't like to disclose things. They like to, this is another thing, but they like to more like play games, when they're talking. The way they talk, the way they communicate is like by playing games, essentially. By talking but not fully giving things away. So like there's always this game that you're playing when you talk to girls where it's like you have to work to get the answers that you want, essentially. You don't just get them straight on. You have to do some sort of work to get there, And that's how, people are like, oh, this girl's easier, this girl's not that easier, this and that, or whatever, but it's like, they basically have they just like to play games, I think. They just, in the way they talk, they like to play games. They don't like things to be easy mode. They don't like things to be like easily disclosed. They don't like to have all the cards on the table, basically. They like to keep their cards in the hand and then play their cards one by one. And I feel like with trans people, since they are not biologically female, sometimes they, like, obviously they'll play the part, and they'll play the part well, but sometimes you can catch them like not playing the part well, which means like sometimes they'll be just like throwing their hand, like showing you their full like 10 card hand or whatever. They'll be showing you the whole thing. And I feel like that's sort of the giveaway, like, that they give you, that they're not female. They're more straightforward, and they don't have that, like, when I said that royalty thing, it's like it comes naturally to girls, naturally to women. They like naturally have some tendencies, and so because with trans women, they don't have these natural tendencies, and they kind of have to implement them into the person that they are. Then since it isn't their natural tendency, then sometimes their actual natural tendency comes out, which is to just like fully disclose the hand, or like fully show you their hand and not play games, And so I feel like that's how you can tell. And this is just basically like, because you're gonna ask, I know someone's gonna ask like, wait, what do you mean? This is so like 5-head, like, what's an actual example? Or like, what do you actually mean? And I just mean like when you talk to them, and then like someone shows some sort of interest in the other person, you can tell by how straightforward and non-game like the approach is. That they're not a girl, basically. And there's different things that, are different topics where it'll come out, but like that's just one of them. And not that girls aren't straightforward, or that some of the girls, are the ones to seek out the guy or whatever, because some girls are like, straightforward. They're like, like, let's do this and that, like, this is what I want, or whatever, or like, are you trying to do this and that, are you trying to, you're trying to fuck, basically. Like, some girls sometimes will come out and just be like that and just say those things, but like there will still be like the game aspect to it, where even if they want it, they'll still, no matter how badly they want it, they'll still kind of play some sort of game, like, it won't be fully disclosed, just like, yo, I really want it, let's go right now, like, they'll never be like that. They might disclose that they want it, they might be really out there, they might be really open, they might have been around the block and back a couple of times, but like, even if they're down with however many people, there'll still be some sort of a game that you have to like play. It won't be just like, let's go, like right now, like it'll never be like that. You always have to somehow talk your way into it, or somehow play something the right way. And so I feel like that's one of the ways you can tell. And I don't know why. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I just went with what's one way you can tell that they're not actually girls. But I was just saying, like, the main piece of advice, or the main thing that the main piece of advice I can give people, where people are like, wait, how do I know, we don't want a brother to fall into like, we don't want a brother to like fall for someone and then they turn out to be trans, and it's like, oh shit, wait, I actually didn't want to go for that, like, the main piece of advice I could just give is like, if you can tell something is off, or something kind of looks like suspicious, something doesn't add up, like physically speaking, there seems to be like some sort of physical feature that doesn't fit well seamlessly, something just feels off, or in their voice, or in like their body, physical appearance, something, with the hips or something, it's just like something's just off, then it's best to assume that they aren't actually a girl. So basically, if you think something's off, then it's just best to assume that they're trans. Because 95% of the time, they will be trans. And then that 5% or whatever small percentage, they will be an actual girl, And then something happened, that made it look off. But like 95 to like 99% of the time, they will be trans if something's off. So, yeah. Just be on the lookout. And, yeah. I mean, I feel like you could just tell. If you go by that rule, you could just tell. Always. Not always, actually. Like, because sometimes you just see them the first time at glance, in like a video or some shit. And then you just be like, you won't know. But if you see like more pictures, more videos, the more you see, or if it's like a friend or a mutual that you can talk to, and then you talk to them, like, that's a big giveaway, like I said, when you talk to them. But like, the more you see, basically, the easier it is to tell. So that's why I say, like, you can't always tell as well, because like sometimes you just see them like a picture or something, or a small video or something, like sometimes you can't tell, but the more you have of them, you should be able to tell if something's off. And then you should just assume that they are trans, because like most of the time they will be 99%. So yeah, I feel like because of that, you can pretty much always tell at the end of the day, at the end of the day, after like yeah, at the end of the day, if you have enough information, you'll be able to tell. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I wanted to say, I think. Thanks for listening. This has been Amaro 2582. Again, I don't know if I said this before, but I have nothing against trans people. I have like friends of friends, or like mutual friends that are trans, and I get along with them. I usually get along with everyone, or with most people. I guess this is like a disclosure thing. I don't know if I'll put this in the front, but like, I don't have anything against anyone, or I guess I'd say most people, but including trans people. I don't have like anything against them, in the sense that I think they should be treated like normal human beings. Like I think they should just be like treated and respected like other people. Just treated as another human, another person. But I do think that they are different, in the sense that like you can't equivalent like a trans person to a non-trans person, to someone who is biologically that gender. That's where I feel like I just like, that's my disagreement basically with the whole thing. But I don't have anything against them or anything. And yeah. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. This has been Amaro 2582. Thanks for watching. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you had like a friend or something slip and find out later on that the person they are hanging out with ends up being trans or something. I don't know. Or yeah, just say let me know. Any questions, comments, quotes, queries in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Good night. Peace.